Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss or we are going to see how to operate a CRO, function generator, regulated power supply and multimeter. So these are the four basic instruments that we use in any kind of electronic circuit experiment. So this is your CRO, this is the CRO, this is function generator, and this is your DC regulated power supply, and this is multimeter. So let us start with the CRO. Okay, so this is the CRO, and this is the front panel of the CRO. Along with this is the front panel of the CRO, where we can control the different parameters of the signal to be tested here. And CRO stands for cathode ray oscilloscope. Here inside there is a CRT cathode ray tube is there, and it is this CRO particularly is of two channels, channel 1 and channel 2. Okay, so there are two channels, that means two signals we can observe simultaneously at a time. Okay, and there is XY plate when you apply the signal on it, so that XY plate emits the anode cathode, so it emits the electrons to the phosphor screen. This is your phosphor screen where you can visualize the signal. First of all, this screen where we will visualize this our signal is like a XY plot. So this is your vertically this is the Y axis, and horizontally this is your X axis. So this particular plot or this particular screen is being divided in number of sections or the blocks. Okay, so here as you see, this screen is divided in bigger square box. Okay, this square. So this bigger square is of 1 unit. Each block of 1 unit in vertically, horizontally as well as in vertically. So this point to this point, this is bigger square. This bigger square is of 1 unit, and in each of these bigger square there are 5 sections. As you can see, there are 5 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in the smaller 5 section, in each of these smaller 5 section, the unit is 0.2. So 0.2, 0.4, 0.5, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 1. So together it is 1 unit in the bigger square, and the smaller square, smaller division is 0.2. Okay. Now this x-axis here is the time, and y-axis is the amplitude, particularly the voltage. So to control or to see the time scale, here is a knob. This knob is called time per division, as it is written time oblique division. So it is time per division. So per division how much time is fixed is being done by this square knob, this knob. So here it is measured like second. So this is your second up till this white mark. From this it is second. From this to this portion is millisecond, and from to this portion is of your microsecond. So when you say for example, if I now say this to say 0.2 second, this is now your 0.2 second. This is now your 0.2 second. In this 0.2 second, as you can see, this 0.2 second, so you see the whole line becomes a dot. Okay, so a point. So this point is now moving. What does it mean? This point, from this point to this place to this place, it takes 0.2 second. From this to move this point dot from the one big square, from this to this, it takes 0.2 seconds. So from here to here it takes 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8, 0.1. So up till this it takes 1 second. Similarly, if I make it say 0.1 second, then now it is taking 0.1 second. From this point to this point 0.1, this point to this point 0.1, from this point to this point 0.1 second. So accordingly to till this it takes 0.5 second, and till this it takes 1 second. Then suppose I am giving it a millisecond. Now it is taking 50. Right now it is in 50 milliseconds. So it is taking 50 milliseconds to travel from this point to this point. So that way, if I am increasing this in millisecond, actually I am decreasing the time. Okay, this is now say now I am putting it in 0.2 millisecond. Okay, now I am putting it in 0.2 milliseconds. So from this point to this point it is taking 0.2 milliseconds. So our eyes cannot detect the difference of 0.2 milliseconds. So now you can see it as a you can see this as a straight line. Okay, so now you can see this as a straight line. Okay, so this is how we measure the time using the scale. In each square there is 1 unit, and in small division there is 0.2 unit. So this total time, total unit here covered by your signal into multiplied by this division will give you the total time taken by one cycle of a signal. And 1 by that total time is the frequency of the signal. So therefore, to measure the frequency we use this knob. Okay, similarly to the y-axis is your voltage or the amplitude. So to again, in each square there is 1 unit, in each smaller division there is 0.2 unit, and likewise like this there is a voltage per division. So it is voltage per division. There are two knobs for this voltage per division. This knob is for this channel, channel 1, and this knob is for this channel, channel 2. So while you make it like say now suppose it is in 0.5 volt. Okay, this from this portion to this this portion it is in volt, and from this to this it is in millivolts. So 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, 1, 2, 5, 10, 20 up till this is volt, in volt. That means if it is in 0.5 now, so each the square unit is having 0.5 volt. So 1 unit means 0.5 volt. Now if I put it in 1, so it is 1 unit means 1 volt. Okay. Now, so these are the three main knobs. This is your time per division. These two are for voltage per division for each of these two channel. This is for this, and this knob is for this. Now to make it ups and down, in the vertically ups and down, this Y position is there. This Y position is there. So this Y position right now I am selecting. As you can see, there are three knobs here. So this first knob is to select whether you are working with the channel 1 or channel 2. Okay. Now this is selecting channel 1. So to move vertically up or down, you have to use this Y pause 1, that is for channel 1. Now suppose I am pressing this, then it's selecting channel 2. So this is your channel, this is your channel 2. This is your channel 2. This is your channel 2. Now if I remove it and press the dual, then both the channel you can see together. Along with that you have to add it. Then you have this add button to add both the channel. Then you can see both the channel together. Okay. So these three are for selecting channel 1 or channel 2. Dual is dual and add together to have both the channel simultaneously together. Now as you see, there are two buttons here. One is GD, it is written, another one is AC DC. That means when you are pressing this GD, that means this channel is in the ground position, that is in the, always we put it in the reference line. Then while we use this CRO to see or to visualize the signal, first before connecting the signal we press this ground, so that the reference line, reference is now in the ground. And this AC DC, if you are looking at the AC part of the signal, so it has to be AC. When this button is released, then it is in AC, and when it is pressed, then it is DC. So this, when you like to see the DC average component of a signal, then you have to press this DC, otherwise it is in AC. So same way, these two button is here for these two button for this channel. These two are for this channel, these two are for this channel. As like your Y position here, similarly for channel 2, this is your Y position. And for both the signal, to move the line or the signal in the X direction, there is X position. So this is your X position for both the signal, both the channel. Okay, this is your X position. Then to invert, say positive part towards the negative part towards the positive part, this invert is there. So if we press this invert, the signal get inverted. So this invert button is for this channel, this invert button is for this channel. Okay, then comes this XY. So if I press this XY, then it becomes a single point right now to see the signal in an XY direction. Okay, together. Okay, so this XY is there. Generally, to analyze the hysteresis and all, we use this XY. Okay, otherwise not. Then there is one more input here, which is called trigger input. If your signal needs some external trigger from the external signals, then you have to connect the trigger signal here. Okay, so then it has to be pressed external. So now it is this EXT is being pressed. That means we are choosing external trigger. And while choosing the external trigger, whether it is AC trigger, DC trigger, high frequency, low frequency, or simply sinusoid, so then it is selected by this. Normally we don't use it for just looking at the signals from the function generator. We don't want this external trigger, so we release it. And then there is no use of this button. Okay, then for high, there is a button for separating the signals, the two signals in this. While it is in external triggering, that there are two options, TVH, TVV, horizontal and vertically separate the signals. We use this, but in general we don't use it. Okay. Then there is one more knob here, this TR. This TR knob, if this signal is sometimes not parallel to the x-axis, this line is not parallel to the x-axis, just there is a knob inside. If I rotate this knob, you can see, you see this line is moving like this way. To make it parallel to the x-axis, so it has to be parallel always before measuring any signal. So you have to make it parallel by rotating this knob. Now it is parallel, exactly parallel. Okay. For there are in this side, there are in the below, there are two knobs. One is your intensity, one is focus. So you can have the lower higher intensity, means you can increase decrease the intensity of the signal plotted by using this, and using this you can make more focus. You can tune the focus of the display. Okay, so these two are for intensity, increase or decrease the intensity, and focus. Then there is one knob, it is written here x10, that is multiplied by 10, and x magnitude. So that means if we want to see the signal 10 times bigger than the actual one, then we will press it. Okay, otherwise it is in the normal condition. Okay, then since it is a measuring instrument, so this instrument has to be calibrated first before going to use it for measuring our signal. So for calibration, there are two knobs. One is 0.2 volt, another one is 2 volt. Okay, so that means if you apply connect the CRO cable here, it has its own inbuilt 2 volt square wave source. So we can see whether it is exactly 2 volt and 1 megahertz signal or not. If not, we'll has the tune. So for tuning purpose, for calibrating, as you can see here, it is written calibration. This knob is there to calibrate the time. And if you open it up, if this knob is open, then there is a button. By using some wrench you can for calibration, for voltage, I mean the y-axis calibration, if you open up this knob, then inside there is a knob by which you can calibrate properly. Okay, now let's see first the calibration. So what I am doing is I am connecting that BNC cord. This is what is called BNC cord. This head is called BNC and this head is called crocodile head. So this is a coaxial cable of 50 ohm impedance, characteristics impedance, and the 5 nanosecond per meter delay. That means if this cable is of 1 meter, then from this end to this end, to travel the signal, it will take 5 nanoseconds. Okay, now as I mentioned, I am pressing this ground here, So now I am connecting this BNC head here, Then this positive part, that means this is the mains, this is the reference or the ground. So I am just putting it inside this 2 volt signal source. Okay. Then this black one, this ground, I can put it in the chassis ground. Okay. Now if I release this, so now let me put it as channel 2. Okay, so this is your channel 2. This is your channel 2. So now I am placing it in the reference line, parallel to the reference line x-axis. Now I am releasing this ground, and it should be in AC because it is a square wave. Then I am releasing this ground. Now you can see a square wave. Now this square wave should be exactly 2 volt and it should be of 1 kilohertz. Okay, sorry, previously I mentioned it is 1 megahertz. It's not 1 megahertz, it is 1 kilohertz. So let me check. So as I mentioned, in 1 square there is 1 unit, into the division will give you into the division, it will give you into that division, it will give you the exact voltage. Now see, this is your y position, so I am putting it here. So 1 square, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 4, it's not exactly 4, 1.2 unit is left actually. So to get actually it is 3.8. You see 1, 2, 3, 0.2, 0.4, 0.6, 0.8. Actually it is 3.8. So just for sake of simplicity, I am just considering it is exactly 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Suppose it is 4, then 4 into here it is 0.5. You see this voltage per division of this channel is of your 0.5. So 0.5 into 4, that is 2. So it is 2 volt. Okay. But thing is that, as you can see, it is not exactly 4. So 0.2. 0.2 is missing. I mean 3.8. So 3.8 into 0.5. So it is not exactly 3.8. So it is 1.9 volt. Okay, not exactly 2 volt. So that 0.1, that part, 0.1 volt. So that 0.1 volt is not, I mean there is an error. So that means when it So now we'll see the time, that is the frequency of the signal. As I mentioned, this is 2 volt, although it is not exactly 2 volt. So what we can do is we can remove this cover and can tune it to have it exactly 2 volt. If I am not making it, then this 0.1 volt, it is actually 1.9 volt. So in every calculation for your actual practical signals, we will consider as 0.1 volt error. So that means that error voltage has to be considered for each and every calculations while experimenting in a circuit in this CRO. Then, since it is 1 kilohertz, so let us see how many time it takes in one complete cycle. So one complete cycle here is from this to this. Okay, so from this to this, it is one complete cycle. Okay, so how many blocks it takes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then 5.2, 5.4, 5.6. Okay, so 5.6 into 0.2. Now if it would have been 5 exactly, now since you see this knob is in 0.2 millisecond. So if it is in 0.2 millisecond, then if it would have 5 square, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 exactly, then 5 into 0.2, 1 millisecond, and total time taken by one complete cycle. And 1 millisecond means 1 divided by 1 millisecond. If it is 1 millisecond, so 1 millisecond, 1 divided by 1 millisecond is 1 kilohertz. But no, it is greater than 5, so 5.6. Since it is 5.6, time is more, and 1 by, that is 5.6 into 0.2 will be less than 1 kilohertz. So that means it is not calibrated. So what we do, this knob is the calibration knob. So let us see whether it is. So this is now in minimum position. This is now in minimum position. No further movement is possible. So therefore, here also it is not exactly 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5.6. So it is also not exactly 5 square, since it is in 0.2. So let us make it in 0.5. Let's see in 0.5 how much square it is taking. So from this point to this point, so 1, 2. So you see it is 2.2. So 2.2 into 5. So 2.2 into 0.5. So 2.2 into 2.2 into 0.5 means your 1.1 millisecond. So since it is 1.1 millisecond, it is not exactly 1 kilohertz. If it would have been 1 millisecond exactly, since now it is in 0.5. If it is in 0.5, it should be exactly 2 square to have it 1 kilohertz. So now it is less than 1 kilohertz. So again, you have to consider that as an error if you are not able to calibrate it. So it is not possible to calibrate it, something is wrong in this knob. So therefore, if you are using this while calculating the time, you have to consider that point. Here it is 0.2 into 0.5. 0.2 into 0.5, that is 0.1 millisecond error. So 0.1 millisecond error, that means 100 hertz error. Okay, 0.1 millisecond error means your error 100 hertz error. So that 100 hertz error you have to consider in frequency, or in time it is 0.1 millisecond you have to consider as an error. Similarly, the voltage also, since it is not exactly 2 volt, so it has to be considered as error. Okay, so that will be considered as an error in every calculation. So this is all about the CRO. Oh, one more thing in the CRO, there is a component tester also, where we can, if we press it, then we can see the resistor capacitor that can be tested here, whether it is working properly or not. Okay, so this is all about the CRO and how we operate the CRO. Now I am going to the function generator. So this is now your function generator. So in this function generator, this particularly is of 3 megahertz. Now here in the CRO, one thing I forgot to mention, this CRO is of 30 megahertz. As you see, 30 megahertz oscilloscope. 30 megahertz means maximum of 30 megahertz of frequency signal can be visualized here. Okay, and this BNC knob will also have 50 ohm impedance, input impedance. Means this CRO has a 50 ohm. Since this cable is of 50 ohm, it is a universal standard. So now this is your function generator. So let me put the power on for this. Okay, so this is your function generator and this is Syntec made, but this CRO is of Scientific made, that the company name is Scientific, this CRO is of Syntec. So in this function generator, which is Syntec made function generator, the maximum frequency that it can generate is of 3 megahertz. 3 megahertz functions, that is sinusoid, of course the cosine also, then triangular, then rectangular, then pulse. And the frequency counter is up till 40 megahertz. It generates the 3 megahertz signal and with 40 megahertz of frequency counter. So this knob is for the duty cycle. Duty cycle means how many time is there in the positive half part and how many time is there in the negative half part. Okay, so 50% duty cycle means positive and negative half has the same time. Then you can vary the frequency here using this knob. You can vary the amplitude of the signal using this knob, and to control the offset, DC offset, this knob. Right now it is off, then you can make it. Then this knob is for taking the output. As you see, output 50 ohm. It has also output 50 ohm impedance. Okay, and this is for counter, an external counter if we use, which can be up to 40 megahertz frequency counter. Then this front panel, to select the frequency range, this knob. So if I see, now you see this frequency is 142.7 kilohertz. Now if I press it again, then it is 1.41 megahertz. Then further to I'll use this crocodile head here. So directly this positive to the positive I am connecting, and this ground to the ground I am connecting. Okay, so this positive to the positive, ground to the ground. From that means this signal is now coming into this. Now I am releasing this ground here. So as you see, this is a sinusoid waveform. So if I reduce the time further, you will see properly the sinusoid. Okay, so now let's see whether this sinusoid have the exact value as it was said here, the 2 kilohertz and amplitude. Okay, amplitude. So this amplitude display is not here, so you can measure the amplitude from here only. Okay, so it is showing it is you'll see the amplitude here. So this offset I am not using. Attenuation, if I press, it will be lowering down 20 dB attenuation, 40 dB attenuation, now 0 dB attenuation. Okay, let's see the amplitude how much. So I'm just lowering down the amplitude. Okay, so further I'm just lowering. Okay, let me okay. Now if you look at this, you see, so this peak to peak voltage, so this peak to peak voltage, how much square it covers? 1 2 3 4, so 4 units, and it is in 0.1. Okay, 0.1, oh, sorry, so this is in 0.5, so 4 into 0.5, 4 into 0.5 is your 2 volts. Now while we have calibrated it, as I have said, there was an error of 0.1 volt. Okay, because it was 2 volt and we have found it as 1.9 volt. Now I am looking at this 1 2 3 4 unit and into 0.5, so it is 2 volt, but exactly it is not 2 volt, it is 1.9 volt, because 0.1 volt is an error. So if there is an error, that has to be considered. Okay, so it is exactly 1.9 volt. Now we'll see the frequency. Okay, for that I am putting the ground again. Okay, it is in the reference. Now in the X position I will see. So from to cover one complete cycle. So one complete cycle is from this point or this point to this point, or if I consider from this point, it will be from this point to this point is one complete cycle. This one complete cycle. Okay, so how many squares it covers? Okay, how many square it covers? Let's see. So it is 1 2 this is your 1 2 3 sorry 1 2 3 4 5, exactly 5. 1 2 3 4 5. So 5 square, actually it is 5.2. Okay, let me consider it as a 5 only. 1 2 3 4 5. So 5 into 0.1. 5 into 0.1 millisecond. Okay, so that means 0.5 millisecond. 0.5, 1 divided by 0.5 millisecond is your 2 kilohertz. Okay, 1 divided by 0.5 millisecond is 2 kilohertz, and it is 2 kilohertz here. But this CRO has an error of 100 hertz, so there is an error. You see, this is not exactly 0.5, it is actually 5.1. It is not exactly 5.2, so 5.1 into 0.1, so there is an error of 100 hertz. As while calibrating this CRO, we have seen was an error of 100 hertz. But otherwise, it is 1 2 3 4 5 into 0.1, 0.5 millisecond. 5 into 0.1, that is 0.1 millisecond, 0.5 millisecond, and 1 divided by 0.5 millisecond is 2 kilohertz. So it is exactly showing 2 kilohertz and your 2 volt. Okay, without error. If we consider the error of this CRO, then it is 1.9 volt and 2 kilohertz exactly. Okay, now let's see, if now it is sine wave. Now if I put it as square wave, you see, now it is a square wave. If I press a triangular wave, now it is a triangular wave. If I now see ramp, this is the ramp. Now if I say pulse, so this is a pulse. So in this pulse we can tune this duty cycle, right? You see, it is duty cycle. So if the positive have this portion same, then it is 50% duty cycle. Now it is greater than 50% duty cycle, and now it is now less than the 50% duty cycle. Okay, like that. So you can tune up the 50%, I mean the duty cycle in case of the pulse, and the TTL wave. This is your TTL on off kind of things, TTL wave. Okay, you can now TTL wave, as you know, the maximum is 5 volt. Okay, for 1 logic 1 and for 0 volt. Actually it is 2.4 volt to 5 volt is logic 1 in TTL, and 0 to 0.8 volt is logic 0. Now it is TTL, as you see, one cycle only. It is 5 volts. So now it is in 1. So 1 2 3 4 5 square. 1 2 3 4, not exactly 5, there is an error as I say, but if I put it in 5, so it is now almost 1. So since there was an error, but almost 5, and this knob is in unit 5 volt. So 1 unit into 5, so therefore 5 volt. TTL is 5 volt maximum. Okay, so this is your function generator, this CRO. So we have come to know how to operate this CRO and what are the options available in this particular function generator. There are different types of function generator. So this is a particular type of 3 megahertz Syntec function generator, and we have seen how we can take out the signals and can visualize in CRO. After visualization, how we can measure the frequency as well as the amplitude of the signal, and this different signal we have seen: sinusoid, square, ramp, pulse, and also the TTL. Okay, and with this I stop here for today. In my next video, I'll show you how to operate the multimeter and also how to use the DC power supplies for different circuits. Okay, thank you very much.